What's poppin', everyone? Welcome to another episode of Remember When. My name is Jose. With me today are my boys Amir and Johnny. Say what's up, guys.
What's good?
What's up, y'all?
Hey, boys.
Hey, man.
So today is a special episode because we have a first guest in a very long time. It is our boy, the one and only Sam. What's up, bro?
Yo, what's bracking?
Yo, so Sam, he's a longtime friend of us. He's also the host of the SAMCAST, a travel podcast that Amir has actually appeared on a couple times. It's really good, a lot of fun. And yeah, he's been cooking it up, killing it. So we'll keep a link to that in the description. You guys can check that out. But yeah, so how's everything been for you, Sam?
Everything's chill. You know, working, trying to live the best of this adult life I can. I guess, you know, closing in on 30, but we out here.
Hell yeah, that's a milestone. You still young though. Don't forget, you still young.
You're right.
What have you done this summer that's been memorable to you?
I came up actually so I live in North Carolina. I came up, I think the weekend of July 1st. I came up to Jersey to see some people. That was pretty lit. I've been away for a while, so there was that. You know, saw Amir, saw some other homies. That was pretty much it. That was probably the biggest thing I've done. Other than that, just been working. Yeah.
Okay, so pretty simple summer.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. All right, so we have a question for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's keep, sell, destroy. Okay. So the three options are the Omnitrix from Ben 10, Green Lantern Ring, or 7 Chaos Emeralds.
I'm selling the Chaos Emeralds.
Okay.
No. Cap. I'm destroying the Chaos Emeralds.
Destroying them. Okay.
I'm keeping the Green Lantern Ring, and then I'm selling the Omnitrix.
You're selling the Omnitrix. Why are you selling that versus the Chaos Emeralds?
They're cool gems and all that, but like the regular average person ain't walking around with a bag of jewels. Like, I got jewels in my bag. Like, let's use them or something like that. I'm sure it'll make a lot of money, but like, I have no purpose for that. I got a Green Lantern Ring. I'll fly, go do whatever I want. I don't know. Money's not really brought up, but I don't know. That's just where my head went.
Okay. So you're going to commit to the core of the Green Lanterns?
Oh, for sure. In the darkest nights, bro. The only dark I the only dark I like is when I turn off the lights. So we out here.
Okay, awesome. But like, so why sell the Omnitrix though?
I feel like,
or actually, my bad. Mm-hmm. Why would you rather choose the Green Lantern Ring over the Omnitrix?
I don't want to transform into something, and then I also don't want to be in this situation where my Omnitrix stop working, and then I'm stuck at something. Because if that happens, it's a wrap for me, bro. I don't know if I could do my everyday life, but at least with the Green Lantern Ring, I can go incognito when I need to, walk where I need to. If I gotta go somewhere, ring on, we out. You know what I'm saying? Everyday house objects. You know what I'm saying? I can make a broom. I can make a microwave. I could just make things. I don't have to. I'm trying to do as little as possible with as much as possible. So, and I can do a lot with one ring.
Do you think your frozen meal gonna taste better in a Green Lantern microwave?
No, but if I'm outside and I got a fireplace, I can hold it above the fireplace.
That shit's still gonna be cold.
I mean, yeah.
But
I'd rather have that.
It's still helpful though.
A little bit.
Okay, awesome. Would your answer change if instead the Chaos Emeralds we said the 7 Dragon Balls?
I guess, yeah. Only because with the Dragon Balls, I could wish for anything. There are some loopholes with the Dragon Balls. I don't know. I still think I'd take the Green Lantern Ring.
Oh, wow.
I want some drip. And then when people pull up on me, the drip's already there to wash them. You know what I'm saying?
So you're trying to win the costume contest at Comic Cons is what you're saying.
I mean, if need be.
He could be the best Jon Stewart cosplayer.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, that could work.
Yes.
That could work.
Yes.
Just a couple inches shorter.
What if you put on the ring and the fit's horrendous? Like, you got, like, jorts on. Like,
I mean...
Green Lantern flip-flops.
Oh, no.
Green Lantern Crocs.
See, You know, I'm still not mad at it. You know why? Because that would probably ignite me into stardom, and I would become an icon amongst the young people. You know, people love Crocs. You know, people love jorts. It's a thing. Will it be at a season? Yeah, but I don't know, man. I think people will gravitate to it, given what people are wearing nowadays. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Hey, people love One Punch Man. That man's fits horrible, but he's still powerful.
That's true.
And it's what is heart. It's all what matters in his heart. That's what matters.
It's all in the heart.
Yeah, it's all in the heart.
Yes, Captain Planet. Go Heart Power.
Captain Planet.
Yeah,
Yes.
boy.
All right, Sam. So today we're going to be talking about Samurai Champloo. Are you excited for this, man?
Did you just say call it?
for sure.
I'm sorry.
Champloo.
Yeah, I'm about to
Champloo.
say. I'm about to hop over this table and
Go ahead, man.
and touch your
No,
nose.
correct it. Correct it.
I'll say Samurai Champloo. Like you going to the
Champloo.
like you taking a poo. Like you going to the pool.
Come on. You were on fire, and then you disrespected with the poo.
I didn't disrespect it. I'm
Shampoo.
just saying the English language.
Oh,
You
hold
go
on. Wait,
poo,
shampoo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shampoo.
Shampoo,
Hey,
yeah.
Samurai Shampoo. We're talking about that.
It's a suave ad. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna let y'all rock with that.
But yeah, so what's your history with the show?
Just it was one of the first anime I had watched when I was younger and finished it. I think it was like summer of like 2007 or something like that, and I was with my dad. And I was like, let's see what YouTube's got, and I saw the episode titled "Bogus Booty," and from there I was just a fan. I liked the art style, the music. I didn't think it would be as relatable as it was, coming from, I guess I'd rather a kind of a sheltered life a little bit. I don't know. Seeing anime from the outside in, it was kind of, this is out of pocket stuff. But watching that, it was like, oh, this is relatable. We got people beatboxing, people doing graffiti, and then like the main characters, which I'm sure we'll talk about, they were just all relatable people. Like they're people you see every day. It wasn't like they were gifted something crazy and like their story is super traumatic or whatnot. Not that they weren't, but I don't know. It just was relatable. But
Absolutely. Yeah, honestly, this was a show that I didn't watch until like actually kind of later. I had heard about it probably in the early 2000s, but it wasn't one that I definitely didn't watch until like I was in college. That was my first time actually watching the show. How about you, Amir and Johnny?
See, I first caught it back in Hawaii because I went past my bedtime. Normally, I was supposed to be bed by like 9 o'clock, but I was like, nah, fuck that shit. I can't go to bed. I had too much sugar. But like, I would go over, like looking on Adult Swim, and I'm like, oh, what's that? Usually be like Family Guy or some shit. I'm like, oh, I can't watch this shit. But then I saw the first episode, and I was like, oh, what is this? It got a hip hop beat on it. Like, you got Battle Cry playing. I was like, yeah, okay, this is a little different. But I had to play with the volume because my room was right next to my parents' bedroom, and I had that volume right when when he was going after the governor, he said, "Is the person right from me like an unimportant piece of shit?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" And I had to fucking turn on the volume. I'm like, I hope Mama didn't hear that shit because they have come into my room and beat my ass because they were cursing, bro. That was the first time I saw it, and that's when I first came in love with the series, bro. It was like the most edgiest shit that I saw when I was like young, dog. No other anime. And at the time, because as a kid, you don't even realize like what an anime is. I thought it was just like Western animation. It's like, what the hell is this, dog? Mm-hmm. This is we got Japanese, we got hip hop, we got badass, we got people cussing, we got titties everywhere, man. But this is different. I love this show. It's my favorite of all time. Deadass.
Oh, is it really your favorite?
Favorite anime of all time.
Oh, of all time?
Deadass, bro. I love this show. I love this show to death.
Okay, how about you, Amir? Is it also a favorite of yours? Is it like top five?
It's
same
one of
level
the
as Johnny?
favorites. I'll put it up there, like definitely top 10. But I think for me, it's one of the best next to Full Metal like intro stuff for like people that want to get their feet wet for anime and everything. Because like what Sam said, like it's not abrasive when you first watch it, because a lot of anime you get like that whole over exaggeration, like, oh, whole section pause, gotta be funny, you got the exaggerated character, all that. This show it's natural and like it comes off natural, so it's more relatable. Like the characters talk like normal characters, they bust their balls each episode like normal people. It doesn't feel like it's a cartoon like most anime feel, you know what I mean? Like if you're watching Fairy Tail or like even like an old school DBZ where you got someone like with like the very minimal animation in the face, they're acting real weird for no reason.
Yeah, general anime, especially like those at the time, like a lot of 90s, like Yu Yu Hakusho and stuff like that, are very overly exaggerated. But if you watch this and the previous director's work, Cowboy Bebop, all that shit is grounded. Like it'll be the like you got cowboys in space and being bounty hunters. That sounds like it would be like a fucking over the top rambunctious anime. But this is like the most chill atmosphere. Everyone's cool. Everyone's relatable. Like even like the most crazy characters are somehow like still grounded. And that's like the same thing with this show, bro. Like it works. They kept it grounded and made it feel realistic.
Absolutely. Do you want to give a quick little plot summary?
Yeah. So
with the little plot that is there. Yeah.
It's a little plot, but then like it's one of them plots that's like all about the journey rather than destination. So we start with episode 1. You got this girl Fu. She's a 15-year-old girl. You know, you don't really know much about her, but you know she's trying to serve food. Then you got this dude Mugen. This man is like the embodiment of like the unstoppable force, bro. If he's coming into the scene, something's about to get fucked up and somebody's fingers about to be broken. And bro, he comes in and lays the work on these motherfuckers that are like harassing Fu. And meanwhile, you got this other dude, Gene. Gene is a cool motherfucker. He's cool. He's really cool. Like, if the embodiment of like what you think a Ronin samurai would be, like the wandering samurai, that is Gene. And he does some stuff against like the government that pretty much gets him. Then he gets him after he gets tied up with Mugen and Fu. They all get tied up in some government stuff. And then first episode, pretty much there it starts their journey of like trying to find a particular person that Fu's trying to find, the samurai who smells of sunflowers. And you want to know what's crazy? Sunflowers don't really smell like nothing.
Yeah, they don't have a smell at all.
They don't got smell at all. And I thought that was crazy, bro.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that until the future episodes when they had said that. I was like, not that like I would know a sunflower scent off the top of my head, but I was like, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that.
It's kind of cool though, because like if you don't know sunflowers, it's like okay, it kind of makes sense. But it's like once they hit you with that realization, it's like I feel stupid as hell now. Like damn.
Yeah, because you're just like okay, that'd be like me being like I need to find that employee that smells like wind. Like what? What does that even mean?
Bro, all the baseball players was like just follow the smell of ranch and barbecue. What you mean?
But yeah, from there they go on a journey, and then the rest of the episodes are just them on their journey trying to find the samurai who smells of sunflowers. And goddamn, it's a beautiful journey, bro. Like where do we even start, bro? Where do we start?
Yeah, so basically exactly what Johnny had said with the show. I think Amir had said it best. It's a really great intro anime for anybody that wants to do it because the plot isn't super heavy, right? It just sets the pace for the show. And honestly, you forget that the plot is there until they sprinkle it in every once in a while. Like every few episodes, they'll remind you like, oh, we're still on the search for this person. Oh, that's, our ending destination is getting closer. They'll remind you as the show goes along. But yeah, every single episode is a beautiful episodic tale. And it's amazing how much they pack into 25 minutes or whatnot. It's because every episode had its own little sub-story within it, but it would bring value to characters that only would appear for that episode that made you feel, again, like, emotional or attached. Yeah, they did a really good job with that. But yeah, so who is your favorite character? So we have three main characters. We have Fu, Mugen, and Gene. So who is your favorite, Sam? Tell us who your favorite was out of the three.
I'm probably gonna have to go with Mugen. Specifically because a lot of the time it was just nonsense out of his mouth. Like he would never, like there were occasions where he just would not be paying attention at all. And then he would reply to something and everyone would be like, "Man, what is she talking about?" And he'd be like, "Exactly. Now let's go kill some dudes." And everyone would be like, you right. That's my guy.
Spin fire.
I don't know. I like that. I like the nonsense with his mouth. I don't know.
Okay.
Man, be giving that good nonsense.
You already know.
It's unorthodox. How about you, Amir? Who was your favorite character?
Probably Jigen, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
You say Jigen?
Yeah.
From Naruto?
You know what I mean. I've been watching way too much. Jim, my bad. I say that just because I'm used to like structure in my house and everything. You know how my mom is. She don't play.
Absolutely.
So like, how formal he was and how like not outspoken in comparison to like his other half. But I say fight style, I'd probably have to agree with Sam because the shit he was doing while fighting was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. How about you, John?
Yeah, I'm going Mugen, bro. Like ever since I was a kid, I loved watching Mugen do like his antics because it's like shit. It's mainly shit that like you can never get away with doing, but he can do it because he's that much of a badass, bro. and his whole fighting style, like Gene is more about like being methodical, you know, gotta get the right slash at the right time. Mugen don't give a damn, dude. He's just gonna run up on you and do as much dirty stuff as he needs to, because bro, that's all he wants to do. He's just trying to find the biggest badass. Like every 5 episodes, it's like, are you the badass? Like, are you a badass? Like, bro, he's just trying to be on top, and I can respect that shit, bro.
Okay.
I respect it heavily.
I definitely think he's the funniest character of the trio.
Easily.
But I have to say, I kind of like Fu the most, right? Because she's low-key my spirit animal, always eating. You know what I mean? Like, bro, but she be looking, they be doing her disrespectfully. After she eats a whole meal, she literally turned fat, bro. I remember the one episode, as always, almost the entire show, they're wanted for some kind of crime. And they're looking for her. They were like, have you seen a girl that looks exactly like you but fat? And it was just her after like a meal earlier in the day. I was like, that's amazing. But she's actually a pretty relatable character. And she actually has some funny quips in there that, like, she's not funny the same way Mugen is funny. Mugen is just like, he's outright hilarious. But she's funny in like certain moments. Like there was the one episode where they were reading her diary. I think that was like 12 or 13. Yep. And she was just like, by the way, I added all this stuff in because I knew you guys would read my diary. And they're like...
Bro, that same episode probably had like one of my favorite Mugen lines where like Fu was describing like I think it was like literally describing the first episode.
What her first impressions of them.
Yeah, she's like, so yeah, Mugen is like a rambunctious animal. Like he has no sense and he's very disrespectful. And he's like, shut up, you little bitch. Like, damn.
Yo.
I love that.
And it like zooms into her and she's like, huh?
But no disrespect to Gene. Gene, especially during this rewatch, like almost like I was about to agree with Amir, almost became my favorite character because he'll just say some like it's supposed to be he knows it's supposed to be disrespectful. Like I said, first episode where he's like comes up to the governor. He's like, oh yeah, you the unimportant piece of shit. I was like, oh shit, you fighting the government, my boy, and you gonna say that? Man's underrated. I love Gene. He's cool.
Yeah,
sure.
No, he's slick. I just love the way that him and Mugen interact with each other. You know, kind of like a yin yang like type of balance. You know, because like they can't stand each other, but they literally cannot live without each other after a little bit into their journey. So Sam, did you have a favorite episode? There's 26 episodes in total, and how I kind of break it down. So there's not necessarily arcs of the show, but how I see the show is 8 episodes, and then the last 10 episodes. Yeah. So the first 8, to me, they set up like the base of the show. They show you exactly how it's going to be, set up the tone. They introduce like how the characters are going to interact with each other. They're going to show like the formula for the show. Here's the story of the episode. Here's how they interact with each other. Here are their, 2, maybe 3 subplots. And then the middle section, I would say, is like character development, because that's when you get like Mugen and Gene's like background story. And then the last 10 are actually related to the plot of like finding the the samurai that smells like sunflowers. But out of those 3 segments, did you have a favorite one from any of those segments, or just one overall like just memorable episode?
For comedic value, I would say my favorite episode is either the baseball episode or the episode where they enter the rice eating competition or whatever. That episode had me rolling. But I think like the episode that kind of stuck out to me the most was the one where it was kind of like a catch up to where they had been, and at the very start of the episode, the first thing Mugen is doing is he's watching beetles fight, and then he shows up, or Fu's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm training my beetle to win a fight." And I was like, this man's on to something, because they were all trying to make money somehow. And you find out like halfway through the episode, he was the profitable one, and then Gene was trying to save some chick and was like, I need the money. And that was funny because he doesn't really ever speak or ask for things, and he showed up, no questions asked. I need that. And it was like, all right, you got it. But that was cool to me just because you really start to see their dynamic and how they all care for each other, but they care for each other in very different ways. Like Fu is very personable and wants to express those kind of things. Mugen does his things, but Gene is kind of like, let me ask you, let's think about it, and that kind of thing. But that was the first time we had seen Gene do something that wasn't asked of him. It was of his own volition. And the other two characters, Fu and Mugen, that was kind of just like, you already understood them, but you didn't know what was important to Gene at the time, so you kind of see his personality. So that was cool to me. But
I agree with that. I do remember the scene with like the Beatles doing the sumo wrestling, and or I remember him training the beetle. He literally has a little rock tied to the beetle, puts his finger down, and Fu comes in. She's like, "That, what are you doing? You can't train the beetle like that." He's like, "Just wait, just watch, right?" And then the beetle suplexes the other beetle, and he's like, "I told you, the training."
Yeah, you would have the beetle moving the rock and shit. Like that's how he trained it. I was like, yo, I hope there's beetle training still going on today.
Absolutely.
I would enter that shit
for sure
immediately. That reminded me of Mushi King. Man, remember Mushi King?
I know. As soon as the beetle fighting popped up, that's the first game that I thought of.
Fucking Mushi King. Like that. I'll be quick. It was like, for those who don't know, it was an arcade game that used cards. It was actually pretty cool. You used cards and it was pretty much rock, paper, scissors. It was a bullshit game though. It sucked. Like it was an arcade game. You're never gonna win.
Yeah, you just fight beetles against beetles.
Yeah, but they'll beat your ass most of the time.
Did you ever win, Amir?
No, bro. You need like all the rigged cards. It's like playing like knockoff Yu-Gi-Oh! And if you don't got Exodia, you just dead.
Have you seen on TikTok the Yu-Gi-Oh filter that's on there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the dude was like, nobody has gotten Exodia. Nobody can get all 5 pieces of Exodia. And like one dude, he just like photoshopped 5 pieces of Exodia over all his cards. He's like, bro, I broke the filter. I did it. And another dude was like, yeah, that's crazy. You did it. And like, you know, just like debunked it. But it's just like, it's so funny how something so stupid is like a big deal. You know what I mean?
It is.
Just
Cards,
being like,
man.
what 5 cards are in my hand? And then like, yeah, it's just one of those trends. You know what I mean? But how about you, Johnny? What was one of your favorite episodes from Samurai?
Every single episode.
Every single episode?
I'm not gonna say that, but that's my thing, but like every single episode had like always had like some little moments here and there, and it's kind of tough too because I almost want to cheat and say like one of the 2-parter episodes. Like I love the one where Mugen and Jin were infiltrating the Yakuza, pretty much playing like their bodyguards, and then they come across each other like halfway through do like the end of the first part, and then the second part's all about like, man, fucking up the whole system and shit. I love the final 3-parter. Beautiful. Like I always like considering that as just one single episode as its own. For Sam, like Sam said, for comedic value, I'm going baseball episode because especially from that episode, you can see where like the Boondocks got inspired, like when they had their baseball episode. Dude, that episode was funny, and this one's too. Like this is like the foundation. That's how you make a really good comedic episode.
Do you want to lay down the plot for the baseball episode for those that haven't seen that one?
So literally, like all it is that Mugen tries to be cool. He tries to be like greedy. He's going to be like, okay, we're just going to order this food, and he doesn't tell the Gina food that's playing either. They're going to get the food, and then they're going to dip. They're going to dine and dash. They're going to do that shit, bro. And then they immediately get caught. Mugen gets a baseball thrown at his head, and then they get caught. They have to play baseball or else pay for the food and work for a month. And it's mainly because there's like Americans and the Japanese are having like a dispute. And the only way they can fight this out is by baseball.
Yeah, that episode is so funny because like they'll pitch the ball and they'll hit it, and then you just see all these spikes come out, and they're like actually killing players. They literally had a graveyard for like in between one of the innings. I was like,
yeah, the main dude who even initiated like the the whole thing, like the deal with them, that man died doing what he loved doing, bro. I respect it. But that man's a loser. He died playing baseball, bro.
Absolutely, yeah.
You died playing baseball.
Mugen soloed a whole American baseball team. It was insane. Did. Yeah. That one was hilarious.
But if I want to be serious, like I'm gonna cheat. I don't care. The final 3 parts, though, I consider that one episode. That's my favorite episode, especially the music. I love the damn music in this series, bro, and that like capped it off perfectly. Yeah,
the music definitely complements all the scenes and all the moments, especially in the 3-parter, the finale. It captures emotion, it captures intensity, it does it all.
Yeah, the amount of times I ever played the final fight with Jin and Karya, like that music with the choreography, like the whole scenes are amazing. What about you, Amir? What's your favorite?
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of it is combat for me. Like I love the Gene when he was like fighting around the bamboo shoots and everything like that. That I don't know. I just always messed with the combat in that series so much because it was so fluid. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times you see, like I love Dragon Ball, but like even that, like it's a little choppy. But in this one, it's like smooth, which is why like whenever Mugen decided to break dance and fight at the same time, I was like, bro, what the fuck? That's different. Like it went so crazy. And then you just go back to his other half and it, like you said, it's completely different. It's like precise. You see like the sword strikes in the background and stuff. Like what they focus on is different depending on the character. And I just thought that was so hard. Because like you said, the plot is cool. And I think for me, I got invested once you start realizing the story and knowing more of the characters. Like, I wasn't hooked off one episode. It took a couple for me to like, yeah, all right, now I'll start watching this. Then I binged it and I was over before I even realized it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll say the combat, that or when they're escaping the town altogether, because it was like just one huge ass fight and everything's on fire. Shit's going crazy. I'm like, bro, this is sick.
And on top of that, like I want to add on top of the combat, like you ever notice like how it's like the camera's always shifting? Like it'll just do like quick shifts and like it's almost like you're there. Like that's what if it'd be one thing if it was static and the action is going on, that'd be cool. But the fact that it's moving, you're in the action and it feels real. That's what makes it also feel real.
Yeah, it's a lot more dynamic.
Yeah.
For you as a viewer. Yeah,
like
I
you got
agree
a
with that.
camera over one of the character's shoulders type shit.
Yeah.
How about you, Jose?
So, in terms of comedy, I don't. My favorite has to be when Mugen learns how to read. You find out that he's illiterate, and for me, I forgot just how funny and sporadic that episode was, because you have like a couple different subplots. Like there's multiple things going on in that episode, and all of them are just as funny as like the other one, right? But yeah, so Mugen, they find out that he's illiterate, and then this passionate teacher drunk dude. Actually, I'm mad that I don't know who his voice actor is, because his voice actor is definitely like a guest star on that episode. But anyways, he ends up grabbing Mugen out of nowhere, just runs him over into his school, and he was like, "You're gonna learn how to read because like you need to tell your story." He was like, "Nah, fuck you, old man." He's like, no, not gonna happen.
He shoves the bottle in his mouth too.
He tries waterboarding him, basically.
He's berating him, and meanwhile, just like having him chug this like damn sake.
But yeah, by the end of the episode, Mugen, he's like super passionate about reading and writing. He's just like, what was it? He's like spray painting his name on everything, and so he writes. He does the infinity symbol. He's like, it means Mugen.
Yep.
They're like,
it does. It actually does. I didn't know that.
Does it actually?
It actually means infinite.
I thought he was just making stuff up, to be honest. And I was like, that's amazing. But yeah, that episode was just
so
super
cool.
funny, and even with Fu and Jean. Because Gene in that episode, he went back to some master's dojo. Was it his former master or a different one?
It was another master's dojo.
It was a different master's dojo. And it's these like two like punks, basically, like the sons of the master of the dojo. They're fighting it out over like some dumb stuff. And then they see Fu and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful." And then the end of the episode, they're like, "Yo, let me cop a feel." And then they just pet the rat that was with her. That episode was super funny, but in terms of just like overall presentation, just quality, I'd say the two-parter with like Mugen's backstory, I really enjoyed that when you find out that he was a pirate, and it gives a much greater layer to him for this comical character where you just see as a ragtag punk, and then you start getting some background and actually understanding like why he is the way he is. I thought that was a really good two-parter right there.
Yeah, and the end of the second part, that shit was raw.
Yeah,
the way he finished it all off, I was like, man, don't give a fuck.
Just a bigger man, bro.
Bigger man. Don't care about no girl, bro.
Facts.
Yeah. So, how do you guys like the story for Gene? His background. Do you guys like his background story, or like how did you guys feel about that?
Personally, I was cool with it. Like he's supposed to like Mugen's the rambunctious, like chaotic samurai. Well, Gene is supposed to be, as I expected, as he should be. He probably trained under a master, and then that master, for what we understand, that master got assassinated by him or got killed by him in a fight. So now he's getting hunted down by his former clan people, and we're just pretty much left to assume that he killed his own master for some reason. And that's the only thing. I'll say that's like the good thing about it, is that you have a mystery you don't know why he did it until like the last episode. Then you figure out the real reason why, and like how it's all, there's like a whole twist with it. But yeah, for like. Story was pretty. I say it was good. Didn't capture me like Mugen's, because I love that two-parter. Like Gene didn't even get a two-parter. Mugen was the only one who really got like a two-parter in the story.
Well, Gene's was more so like his was like kind of puzzled together. His was like kind of like through a few different episodes. It would be like a big chunk here, nothing, a chunk here, nothing, a chunk there, and then they dropped the atom bomb, which was the reason why he killed his master in like the legit like the last episode. Which I mean, if you care about that, like the story questions and all that, then yeah, that's definitely going to be a big deal for those that care about that, you know.
Yeah.
For me, I didn't care about it that much because I was like, all right, I know this man is telling the truth. Like, I know he has good values, so you know, I know it's for a right cause, you know.
I thought that's so interesting because for me, when I watched it, I thought he was being sneaky, and they did that on purpose because most characters that come off as like honest, well-meaning, I got all my shit together, like most characters, they portray something, but behind closed doors, it might be the exact opposite. So when I first watched it, not knowing anything, not knowing any spoilers or all that, I thought he was that guy like, oh, well, he has this plot, but he really be fucked up, and in the end, we might see that come out. Rather than, oh, he's all right, and he's just like a mini sauce guy.
With glasses that don't even work, just for show.
Yo, when they had
original hipster.
When I saw, oh my gosh, that was one of the funniest moments in the later episodes. She was like, Mugen, yeah, they're just for a show. He was like, he puts it on right away. He's like, no, Cap. No, actually, he's right.
Bro, I loved any moment where they would just be like pawning shit, like Gene's stuff off. Like it'll be like, like in the food eating episode where just like, I'm not gonna give you my swords. And they just take his swords. Like, are you serious, dog? Like, or be like giving him his glasses to the pawn shop. Like, poor Gene, bro. If I was him, I'd be understandably pissed too.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that what they did with Gene just overall, which is how they presented him and his background. And honestly, it was just funny also him being hunted down like every like 5 episodes. It was just a new guy like headhunting him, being like, I hate you. He's like, let me guess you're here because of the master. And they're like, yeah, how'd you know? He's like, yeah, this is like a daily thing. Come on, come over here.
Yeah, and that's what I love most about the series, because like literally I think the first guy that came after him was the dude he had the big boxer wingman who go like boom, 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 boom. We while the other dude be pulling up, he got like the very oiled hairstyle, and he tried to come on to Fu. But then it's like literally at the end of that episode, that's when it gets revealed like one of the bodyguards that was with them wanted to go kill Gene. It's like that's what I love. It's like you get little spurts of backstory in between like all the comedic elements and stuff like that. Like that's. It keeps it sparse enough to where like you're interested in what's going on in the episode, but then it's like they pull a piece from the overarching plot. It's like, oh, what's going on here that keeps you intrigued. Like I love that.
Now, no series is actually perfect. So do you guys have any actual complaints about the show? Do you guys did you guys notice any flaws as you were watching it? The only one I really noticed is that for multiple episodes, they try playing out this thing where they have the group being separated, and they're trying to make you think like, are they going to be separated for good? And they always come back to each other. Yeah. And I felt that happened way too many times, where they would try to move a character into one direction and make you as the viewer think, oh no, they're not going to be a trio, they're going to be a duo. But like they would always come back to each other. And after like 5 episodes, I started picking up on that, and I was like, okay, it's kind of a little old. I know they're going to be together. I don't need to, keep on peeling them away. And I don't know if that's just for how they wanted to tell the story, but to me, that was my one little gripe, is that was a little repetitive.
Yeah, I can see that. Like the first time it happens is like 3rd episode where they get separate, where Mugen and Gene, they're like, yeah, we're cool. And then 3, 2, 1, let's go. And they just like separate from them. Yeah, they just leave her in the dust. I'm like, man, I get it. They're like, we don't want to do this shit. Let's dish this chick. But like after a while, I get you. Like on the first time, like especially the first, like after that, it happens like again. You're like, okay, yeah, of course they're gonna get back together. But of course, like hero's gonna win and slay the dragon at the end of the story. So it's like sometimes some things you have to expect is about how you do it. And I feel like they did fine. Like sometimes, yeah, it's annoying, but at least if they tell a good story along with it, it's cool.
Definitely. How about you, Sam? Did you have any nitpicks or complaints, or do you really think that the show just did it all right?
In my opinion, I think it was too short. My favorite anime of all time is Cowboy Bebop, and I love the length of it, and I love how they covered everything accurately in each episode. And I feel like following that up with Samurai Champloo, and the story being deep, but like to me it wasn't. I don't know. It just didn't feel deep enough to me. Like I feel like I still don't know enough about Fu. As much as we got information about her throughout it, it just felt like she took a backseat compared to Mugen and then Jin. But also, like, to what you said, they kind of tried to break up the group too many times, which got annoying. But I feel like it was just too short of a series for me. Like the journey they had, like honestly, how long was that journey? Was it a summer? Was it a couple years? Like that's one thing that like, I just want to know. Like I can understand you getting, to build friendships like that within like a summer or something like that. But I don't know. I feel like they had the potential to really build upon them as a group because they're my favorite trio of all time. I don't think I've ever seen a show or anything with a trio as likable, but I mean that's really all I could really complain about.
Okay. And that's understandable. I mean, it's honestly really just nitpicks because the show just does such great execution.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you and Sam for real, because like that's like the homie that always breaks up with his girl and it's like, oh, we broke up again. Shut up! Like you go and get back together anyway. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Yeah. But for me, I think the way they try to create the story, like, because like Sam said, it is too short because once you get into it, you binge it and it's over like that. And you're like, what the fuck just happened? Like, it's cool. And I'll get the main plots because I care about the two dudes more than anything. But a lot of the side episodes, especially when they split, it felt elongated. You know what I mean? It felt like I was just dragging watching those. Like it felt like filler. I hate it when a show, I know it's filler and the show knows it's filler as well because nothing important is happening. That show, it tried to, get tidbits, background info, maybe someone might pull up, reveal some more info. Just to keep you on base, they did it. I just think they didn't do it enough. And especially with the length of the episodes, if you are going to split them up, have them split the whole episode. Because otherwise, I don't care anymore. And like you said, first time around where they're all trying to, bro, I ain't trying to stick together, all solo, run. I appreciated that. Because if you're forced where like maybe she's the glue, each time, that makes sense. But it felt like if anything, they all ended up in the same situation. They're like, fuck it. And then they went on ahead to the next episode.
Okay. So now you guys want to see the series be longer. Like, do you think just more, like, do you want it like post, finale, like they continue their journey? Or are you saying like in the middle, it could have been fluffed out more? Like they could have added more value in the middle of that journey?
I think for me, it's the middle. Mm-hmm. I like the ending. I like how it ending. I think, like Amir said, it just felt too compressed. Like it felt like it was lots of fillers for an adventure, which works. But the way it was formatted, I would have much rather it been like we get accustomed to what they do on a daily basis. So every episode, we know it's the three of them attempting to get money to travel somewhere. And then from there, each episode is them starting together. And then what the show really does a good job of is giving everybody a small story, interweaving all of those stories, and then bringing them all back together at the end of the episode in 25 minutes. That to me was amazing. But they rushed all of that. And then the fillers that they had were like nonsense to a certain degree, where it was like, this is good, but this didn't progress the story at all. Like there was one episode where they pawned their weapons and stuff like that. And then Mugen had to go run to some hill and turn something in, and he ends up getting high with a tribe, and then they find him like halfway, like at the end of the episode they find him, and then that's just it. It was kind of like, all right,
okay,
sure, awesome, that's Mugen, got him. But it was like, I don't know, I just feel like there could have been more to that given that the story was so good. And I mean, I haven't also seen a show that's encapsulated the Edo period as beautifully as that series has. Like the artwork, they took the time to animate the correct things instead of worrying about the cuts for specific things. And it just made, like, we've been over it, but it's just the small things, man. It's the small things. It's the small things.
Even the detailed explanations that they would give to you as the viewer, because, for example, I don't know anything about the Edo period, right? So they did dive into giving like a little bit of context towards everything to show like a little bit of meaning and purpose. And I thought that was significant as well.
Even the jabs with the pop references, like this is what they do nowadays. They tag things on the wall. Back then, they called it this. And it was like, is that true? But it's just like the fact that they were able to easily mesh that together with what's currently going on today. It was just like you had a whole story you could have been doing this on, and
expand the world more. Like you don't have to focus on the characters. Like That was a good point that you had made earlier when you said like you don't know how far they traveled, you don't know where they went from one episode to the next. It'd be nice to just explore the world more, because that was the most interesting parts for me, were all the other characters coming into their lives and seeing how they interact, like the old man teaching him how to read and everything. That's one of the more funny episodes because it's the most, even though it's random, it has a point and it interacted with one of the characters. Now, if it's just haha random just to be random, that's where you got a problem. Or you got the classic Naruto filler where you got like this main episode mission, and then for like 3 episodes after, you don't know what the hell is going on. Where's the fluidity?
Yeah.
So did you guys like what did you like most about the East meets West style of the show? Because as we all know, it definitely blends like the hip hop, like traditional like sound and feel of our area, and then combines it with that Edo period. But what was there anything that really stood out to you like significantly? I know you had said about like the combat earlier, how it like Mugen style, blends breakdancing, for example. And I know that's, for me, that's one of my favorites because his fighting style is just like, it's unparalleled, it's uncanny, But did you guys have a favorite like point of them, combining the two styles?
The music.
The music
is phenomenal. The reason why this is my favorite anime of all time is because that damn music, dog. Like this anime, let alone has introduced me to like a whole genre, and that's mainly like lo-fi hip hop type stuff. But like not even just that, like went from lo-fi hip hop to it goes to jazz. It'll go from like just straight up breakbeat drums, like in the ending of the second part of the Mugen's backstory. Like you got them big drums coming in. Like it introduced so many different like musical styles to it, and that's what I love the most. Because like, how unorthodox is this? You combine samurai with hip hop. How does that work, dog? Like, if before Samurai Champloo even comes out, you propose an idea and say, I want samurai and hip hop to come together. People, the higher ups are gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't make any damn sense. Why would you even do that? But the dude, like the main director, Shinichiro Watanabe, like I love that man's stuff because that man took a risk and it worked. Like, because I don't even think this series was even popular, like really that popular in Japan. It was mainly when it came over here. That's when it started like evolving into like the grand like master status that it is now. And like that blending has, especially with the music, made it like it just changes up the feeling of every single scene. Cause like if you just take a regular scene and just add like maybe like some ambient music, like something you might hear in like Ghost of Tsushima or something like that, like some ambient track. The scene is still good, but if you don't have the regular hip hop, like it's like some of the cuts off the albums, like it's just like for this show, there's like 4 albums, and they're all of them are quality. All the albums are quality, but like you just got like one of my favorite tracks is Aurorian Dance that plays in the episode where the mother and her like the son is a thief and he's like stealing people off, like stealing their purses off people. That track plays and I'm like, man, like I've never had an anime where the vibe mattered probably the most. Like the whole vibe of the whole show, because like even like how y'all say it's like it's the stories aren't too deep. Sometimes I don't need a deep story, just by the like why the character is doing something. That's all I really need. And then like what do you stack on top of that? And it's like usually you put on the music, it'll put on like really beautiful art, and it's like man, like especially that ending theme will always stay. This is one of them shows where like the ending theme will stay with me. I have to watch that. It's on principle. The ending theme is beautiful.
Do you guys have a favorite? You know how like in between like commercials or whatnot, or like how it would do its halfway break, how it would be like those little like screen cards that would go up on there, but it was like different. Oh yeah.
I love those except for one where it literally sounded like dude was slobbering on the mic. It was like like it literally sounded like that. I'm not gonna remember which episode, but it literally sounded like that. It sounds so jarring.
That was one of those like small details that I always loved, is that those intermittent cards, they were different every single episode. And that's attention to detail right there, because it's easy to just copy and paste the same thing every single time, but that's the vibes. Like that's the best way to describe the show, just vibes. It really is.
Yeah. Especially with like the first episode, like if a show can be very simple, but it's the style that makes it elevated. Because like even Cowboy Bebop, like I recently rewatched that like last year, And at first I'm like, man, there's not really much story. There's like there's story, but like some of the stories are really simple, or like maybe way too simple. And they're like, why did I like this? And it's like, it's everything around it. You can't just focus on one thing. You got to focus on everything around it. Whether it's the music, the characters, like maybe what's their intentions, like what's going on here. The whole vibe is what makes that show. Like, honestly, I think that's what the director like mainly specializes in making a really good vibe with really cool characters.
Okay, yeah. So Johnny brought up Cowboy Bebop. So Sam, you had said that that's your favorite anime of all time, correct?
For sure.
So how does how does the two shows stack up for you? Like,
I mean, definitely Cowboy Bebop #1, Samurai Champloo #2. But
what does Cowboy Bebop do better?
I like the tone of the show. Like Johnny said with the vibe, I like the vibe, but one thing that I feel like it's hard for us to explore and truly grasp is what it's like to live in space, a space atmosphere, a space everything. And to me, that seems crazy. Like outlaws in space, and then there's sanctioned places where there is organization, there's places where they're not. That to me just like there's so much. There's just so much that comes to mind when I think about that. And I just like that aesthetic of, you know, not necessarily orbit, but the color that comes with that, how empty and quiet space can be, but at the same time, how loud and chaotic. And the atmosphere in the background of that show directly correlated to the characters and their stories. It wasn't like you were one place and it was like the weather completely contrasted the character. The setting or where you were at coincided with the type of character that you were looking at or the story that was going on with it. And Samurai Champloo does that as well, but for me, it's not as impactful because the series is so short. I feel like with Cowboy Bebop, we got a lot of information about each character at the right times, so you didn't necessarily feel like I want more of that because they gave you individual episodes to cover that. And they did the same thing with Space Dandy, but Space Dandy is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, bro. Shout out Space Dandy. Canceled way too soon.
For sure.
How many episodes did it have?
Can't remember off the top of my head, but I knew it didn't get that many.
I know it didn't get that many. I know it didn't
get
get that many either, but I don't remember if it had more than Samurai Champloo or not.
I think it does. I think by maybe like 2-3 episodes.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
Wow.
But yeah. So I think Space Dandy is like the acclamation of all three of them, but with way more color and way more of just we're just here to animate stuff for you. We just want y'all to vibrant. Just be here.
Yeah. How about you, Amir? How does Cowboy Bebop stack up for you?
Cowboy Bebop's cool. Like I've never put it in my like top. Maybe it's like I said, I wouldn't even put Champloo in my top 5 personally. Like I mess with the vibes. I do. It's just it's not what I look for. I'm more into dark and gritty stuff and everything like that. I'm heavy in the samurai stuff. I really fuck with Afro Samurai. I knew that before I knew Samurai Champloo. And now that I watch Samurai Champloo and I can kind of compare the two, you know what I mean? I mean, I just fuck with like hip hop samurai just in general. You know, I just like that blend. It's just hard. Like, I love the combat, but I guess because I don't know that culture too well, when it's blended and you replace it with something I know, I'm like, yeah, that's fucking hard. You know what I mean? Like, I think as long as you take certain components, like keep the battles, keep like some of the background culture in the world, but like switch up the music every once in a while. Cause like Johnny said, I'm not trying to listen to a windpipe every single time I get like a mountain setting. You know what I mean? Like at some point it's starting to get racist. Like we got to switch it up for the culture.
Thanks.
So have you guys heard about that new anime coming out called Lazarus?
Yeah, the dude, same director coming back for it. I'm going to watch it. I'm watching it.
Yeah, you're going to watch it? Have you heard of it, Amir?
I haven't heard much, but I try to be spoiler free.
Oh, okay. How about you, Sam? Have you heard about it? Okay. Do you want to give us like what the story is going to be about, like for the show?
I'm gonna leave that to Johnny. He does a great job at explaining.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna leave it to Jose because he's
so
like Amir, I keep away from shit. I love going to everything surprise.
Okay, yeah. No, so basically the premise of it is that a doctor had made a cure for all diseases and illnesses, right? So that way everybody's healthy, everybody could be wonderful, right? Fast forward X number of years, I don't remember the exact number. the doctor is missing and everybody that took that drug is about to die. So the whole,
Oh shit.
yeah, so the world is like on the hunt because they're like, where did this doctor disappear to? Like nobody has any idea. And the clock is ticking until you get like all these people are about to die because they took this, this pill to basically clear up all their illnesses and stuff. Crazy concept.
That
I'm
sounds
like,
dope.
caught my attention right off the bat. I was like, that's wild that you got millions of people that were like healthy for so many years and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you're about to die. And also peace out. Yeah. Because I mean, it raises the question, like, where's the doctor? And obviously we don't know who the main, or I mean, maybe they already have it out who the main character is going to be, but like that, it could literally be anybody, I would imagine, in the show.
It's the same director. That's all I need.
Yep,
That's literally all I
exactly.
need because I know it's going to be quality.
As long as they
it's
don't
gonna be
do
fire.
The Last of Us, where they go through all this journey and travel, finally get to this building. And it's like, yeah, bro's been dead for 10 years. What? Huh?
I'd be mad.
So Sam, what would you say are what's your number 3 anime for your top 3? So we know 2 of your top 3.
Oof. This is gonna be a hot. It might not be a hot take, but my third of all time is 100% Bleach. Always will be, never leaving.
Do you love all the filler?
No, I don't like all the filler.
Yeah,
That's definitely what I tell people. I tell people Bleach is great. Skip this filler. Don't watch that. It's all right. It doesn't matter. Half the stuff at the end of the series still isn't explained anyway. But if you want to see some cool people, watch it. And that's just where I leave it.
Do they plan on bringing Bleach back at all, or has it been brought back?
Bleach is popping right now.
Yeah, you've been out
It
the
is?
loop, bro.
Oh, okay,
They
yeah.
finally decided to animate. What was it? Sam, help me.
1,000-year Blood War.
Thank you. They finally animated that section of the story. So
Heat.
people are loving it. From what the streets are saying, they love it.
Oh, okay.
Bleach is back.
I've never been into Bleach, so I never got into it. So
Yeah,
I
same.
don't know what's big with it or not.
Might get into it now. I'll skip the filler because I don't want to watch that shit. But I want to, now that it's probably popping back. Is it finished now, Sam? Like, is the
No, so they're doing it in 3 parts. So there was the first half, I guess. Then there's a middle half, and then they just finished the middle half, and then there's gonna be a little bit of a hiatus, and then there's the third final chapter, I guess. Kind of doing what Attack on Titan did, just prolonging it.
I fucking
guess.
hate
but-
that though.
Yeah,
I fucking
that's
hate
annoying.
that. I think
But
that's
the-
so whack.
Yeah, the plus side with all been done in in a year. So the first half of the 1,000-year Blood War arc was released in like June of last year, and then the newest episode for the second season was not taking 3-4 years to release this stuff. It's been a year, but we have waited 10 years to get an anime come back anyway. So I guess that I don't know.
I mean, you get
I'm
what
happy.
you get what you can get. You got Bleach back, and it's beautifully animated. What else can you want?
For sure.
I mean, my because I love Bleach as well, but like I'm more of a manga thing, so the end.
Oh, for
and
sure.
I'm scared. Like I'm horrified because
sure.
I don't know. Like I think with a lot of anime, you get to the point like where like the book ends, and it's like, okay, are you gonna animate that like exactly like that? It depends on the steps you took. But yo, if you're interested in getting into anime, look up like filler lists for real. Like if you ain't with that shit and you ain't trying to spend like half your life on all the One Piece fillers and all that
Especially
shit.
for Naruto. It's kind of bad when you have to, anybody who wants to get into Naruto, you have to say, please look at the filler list. Do not partake or else you're going to be there forever.
I'm inclined to say if it's over 100 episodes, look up a filler list.
Good
Oh
point.
nah.
Seriously, you trying to watch all that filler?
Nah, I'm not. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
I was-
saying.
yeah, bro.
Nah.
Yeah.
Oh nah.
No one's trying. I'll never forgive Naruto for when it was like airing, like Shippuden was going on in Japan, but up in the States, they're like, oh, what are we going to do? Oh, yeah, let's just rerun the filler. It's like over 100 episodes of filler. Like right after Sasuke goes off with Orochimaru, hundreds of episodes of filler. I'm like,
I was
dog,
about to say, yeah, there's like over 200 episodes of filler in Naruto.
it's ridiculous, bro. I'm just sitting here like, it's like 2008. I'm like, where the f is Sasuke? Where is he, dog? What are y'all doing here?
Bro,
We're in a haunted
He's
house.
still getting fondled by Michael Jackson. What you mean?
You know what's crazy about you saying that? I stopped watching Naruto when that happened. Right after
Same.
the shooting
Most people
exams.
did, yeah.
And I never came back. And then all these years later, everyone was like, you know about that new Naruto, right? And it's like, with what? Who? he got the Sharingan on there. Like, nah, bro, this is dude with the push, bro, going crazy. And it's like, oh, where the
Bet.
sand guy at? What happened to the sand? And then,
Yeah.
All right, so Sam, at this point in time, we're going to hear your final thoughts, any final words of wisdom for the audience, and also give us your rating on the show out of 10.
This show.
Yes.
This show here.
Yes, this
I
show.
mean, this show right here. This show. I'm gonna definitely have to give it like a high 10. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Well, welcoming vibe. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys. The set is nice. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing to complain about. So I liked it. 10 out of 10.
All right, bro. And any final words of wisdom for the audience?
If you haven't seen Samurai Champloo, definitely check it out. The first episode is great. It is great. Other than that, just keep supporting the homies. You know what I'm saying? Remember when podcast is definitely on its way up. Definitely a lot of topics that they always talking about, and it'll keep you interested.
Plug your shit real quick.
got. Mine, I mean, if you didn't know, I am the host of the Live from Anywhere chat show. My name is Sam. I've been out the way, but I'm back now. You know what I'm saying? But that's about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Johnny, what are your ratings?
High 10, 11 out of 10 because I'm biased and I love this show to death. Got me introduced to hip hop, doing production. Literally love this show to death. Nothing's ever gonna top it. I love you, Samurai Champloo. Shout outs to Nujabes. I love you, and Fat John, and Force of Nature, and Suchi.
Oh, you're shouting all of them out.
I'm shouting all.
everybody.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Everybody who worked on the music, I love you. You inspired my life. All of you are beautiful. Shout outs to everyone in Samurai Champloo land. I love y'all.
And how about you, Amir?
Honestly, I need Will Smith on the track.
Shut the fuck up right now. I'm gonna kick your ass right now, bro. If I hear Will Smith on this damn track, I'm turning this show's a 0 out of 10, dog.
Bro, you ain't with it. But anyway, it's solid. If you fuck with Samurai Jack, Afro Samurai, any of that stuff, and you've never watched Champloo, just give it a chance. Just watch 4 episodes. It's short as hell. See if you like it. I mean, episode 3 or 4, I'm pretty sure you'll get stuck anyway. So it's a good thing to try out. Waste your time a little bit.
If it's your first anime, it's a good introduction.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
What's your rating, Amir?
9 out of 10.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 for me as well because it's almost perfect, but I know it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
That's for certain.
Blasphemous.
Fair.
It is blasphemous,
It's okay.
yeah.
It's okay. It's okay to be blasphemous. You're just going to hell.
Well, heaven ain't for everybody, so.
Yikes. All right, well, Sam. Sam, thank you so much for hopping on the show today. We really appreciate you, man. We hope all continues to go well for you. And hopefully we'll have you on in another future episode. Remember when?
For sure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. All right. Remembers, thank you all so much for listening and watching. We appreciate you guys so very much. Until next time, peace out, Remembers.
Remember When is a Sweet Recording production. Check them out at suiterecording.com.
Intro and outro created by our very own Johnny.
Subscribe, listen, and remember to review wherever you are on social media. Thanks for listening.